and that's just an amazing story in itself. But yeah, it's pretty wild. I had offered the opportunity. My brother-in-law works at the local hospital, and I know a lot of people that are going on this mission. 11 of them I know. So I thought, hey, one day I was just sitting there thinking that would be kind of cool if I had a chance to go uh, to visit, and help out and be with people that I know doing it. And it was literally the very next day that my brother-in-law found out that there was extra spaces because people canceled. And I just quickly said, I'll do it. But boy, I was not thinking when I said I'd do it because everybody else that's going on this mission trip has had basically 6 months notice to get together $2,000 per person to cover the supplies and everything. Whereas I've got less than 2 months. And that's a challenge, but we'll get it done. Where there's a will, there's a way. Even if I have to sell cookies. But I'm thinking that if I just stay here until Christmas on this computer, I'll have no problem getting it. Because you guys already got me up to 420 of it, which is pretty awesome. And I, sadly, uh, I'm paying for this trip, but I have to get my medications very soon too. Obviously, there's malaria medications, typhoid medications, uh, just a ton of crazy stuff. So we're getting kind of an area to start building, but it's these got to be big areas this time around. So we're gonna keep on making this platform quite large. Now I'm leaving space around the farms as well because yeah, we get 3 barns on here, a BGA. Uh, One of the things I wanted to make a note of is yes, they're very flat. It makes it very easy to start placing stuff. Uh, in my process, it, I build the farms on a flat surface. Um, then we'll look into the surroundings, making it blend in a little bit better, where we can add some and just texturing up the ground so it's not all just flat and boring. That stuff comes later. Right now, it's just getting things where approximately where they're gonna be. See where I'm leaving grass up here. We could put houses or whatever, or build a mountainous ridge in here. Other things to take note of as I'm doing this is I'm not even sure the grass texture is gonna stay the same. I really would like to find a grass texture that goes with the new style a little bit better, but I haven't been able to find anything that I like it. Yeah, me taking a trip. The trip is going to be 1 week, and to be honest with you, that week was going to is December 26th. It's right through the holidays. December 26th through January 7th or something like that. Yeah, the week plus a couple days for the weekends. And I wouldn't have been here anyway. Original plan was to go home that week and spend it with my kids and stuff. But they quite understand what we're going to be doing, so you're not losing me any. As a matter of fact, oh, wait, we don't want to do that. We want to replace. Uh, Wrong brush. Sometimes it's hard to talk and do this at the same time. Get the replacement. No, I want to. You notice there's a ridge here. We're still working in the flat area, so I need to expand where this farm is going to be a little bit. Make sure it's big flat area. Eventually, when we get there, we're going to have orchards and greenhouses on each of the farms too. So maybe not right at the initial spot, but they're going to be there. So I'm going to cut this ridge back a little bit further here. Keep it flat for now, just so I can have a big enough lot to work with. Where this farm is going. Yeah, I'm planning on being around quite a bit until then, as long as I know that I'm gonna make my goal of $2,000 and I don't have to do, like I said. Actually, I was thinking I might throw together a. I did a fundraiser before making beef jerky. I did pretty well. Wasn't there a ridge there? Why am I not getting it now? It seemed like there was a ridge as I was. It looks pretty flat. Okay. All right. So we'll go back to this brush. Now we have the grass on. You can see how it brings in the road. Ooh, a little bit big to be messing with that. See, it takes it right away. We'll work with it. Down the road. Not big concern right now. All right, let's go back to where the Evans stuff is and get some more pieces up here. Somebody donated. Knock your name off the donation. I, it'll come off. Don't worry. Before the wife sees it. No, just kidding. All right, this was Evan's stuff. We need the doors to the barn and we need the signs. Now, as I click on these, there are multiple pieces already grouped together. That's why I always click on one of the pieces and then go to the main transform group that it's in and make sure I grab the whole thing before I move it, or I'm going to be really messing things up. Thank you so much, Perry. It's great. That anything helps. And I understand too with you guys with the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas shopping. I don't expect to make it all right away. Um, I've got other places too where I'm collecting, and I updated this bar with some of the money I brought in from there, relatives and everything else. So until I get it all, I won't sleep at night, and I'll be up here map making. No, we got a little stuff. So I got to put these doors back on. Evans barn, and you can see the hinge lining it up, so it looks good. It looks pretty darn close. Go get more pieces. We've got another barn from the Evans farm right here. Hey KW, good evening, sir. Hope all is well with you. We'll bring that up to this one right here. Now, I'm going to ask you guys a question because it really doesn't make much difference to me, but I've done it both ways on this map already. With these hangers, as long as they're not near a BGA, or I'm lining it up with the other one. See how I do that? Would you prefer them to be close together like this with no gap in between, or would you rather have them all spaced out so you could park equipment or drive through between them. While you guys are thinking about that, I'm going to go get the doors and you let me know. And I can do it either way. Some of the farms, I don't know if there's a preference for anybody, whether they'd rather have them spaced or jump bunched together. But there's got to be three of them on each farm this time. And there's just a couple of them. Waiting for this. There we go. So up here, I didn't get the platinum yet. I will eventually. My priority right now is to get that mission trip money going. But I will have to take $20 of my own money at some point and get that platinum set when I'm ready to play and test things out with it on this map especially. So have we decided? No preference on that? Okay. Nobody else? All right. I'm going to put them close together. It gives me more room to. I mean, these farms are going to be huge. So I'm going to put them on this farm pretty close together. Now with each of these, I gotta get the main transform group. Because there's so much, there's going to be some pretty big equipment. That's why, and a lot more on each of the farms, I'm sure, with the 16x map. We'll have some buildings around for the other things, but let's put our doors on here. Get our hinges lined up, which is looking good right there. Now, on to make another one. Because the farm used to have only two. We're going to duplicate this. Slide that one over. Thank you, Grizzly Wild, for the follow. We'll put that one there. Now with the doors, because they each have to be named differently, we're going to grab Farm Garage. There are a lot of garages on this map, but some will actually be disappearing, I think, on some of the other farms. Duplicate my doors. Lineup hinge, boy. All right. And they have to be named differently. Because this is Evan's farm, I'm naming this Evans 3. I know I would not have a number 3 on the Evans farm because we never had 3. So now there is. Now we got to go get some of the other pieces. They're all right over here. We're going to bring the Evans farm signs. We got the other two garages, the silo, all the fun stuff. But it's already in the map, which is cool because I've been testing and it's running well with the pieces already in here. So, well, with except for the additional barns that I'm adding, but all the workings currently are there. Let's get the other sign, which is right here. Thanks for knocking. Hit the follow knocked him off. Yeah, that'll do it too. Notice I eyeball things, so if things are a little bit off center or whatever, it's because I don't measure. It takes too long. Make it look good. As long as I'm not crooked-eyed. All right, let's see. We've got the whole BGA. We've got the barn. We've got a house. Let's bring the house over and see what we where we can put that up front. Hopefully, residential building number 5. Now I may move some of these things around later on. Right now, because as I bring more and more of these pieces over, I realize space issues tend to become a problem, or I need to reorient some things. But I'm thinking that we could actually put the house right up. It's also very interesting because 16x map, everything's so much bigger. I didn't realize how much space was between these roads here. Let me get the driveways. I can't remember what side they were on. I might have to spin that around. Put them up to the road. All right. And it needs to spin around 180 degrees, I believe. And then the house does too. Come on. So we got to put sheep up here. Yeah, it's going to be fun figuring out where everything goes. Bring my house into place. Right there. That'll work for now. All right. I think. Well, let's go get. I'm trying to figure out. We got silos to come in. Uh, other stuff, lots of other stuff, but we have another road section right over here that we can bring in the as well, and also across the street. I think we'll do maybe the BGA across the street because there's a couple juts out, or maybe the sheep farm across the street. We'll figure it out. See, I don't like the way that sometimes the textures don't quite line up, but those intersections are there, and boy, if I don't use them, I got to replace a lot of road sections. So we're going to make it work. Now you notice how the circle, I mean the square, there's a bump here. You could tell by where, so that has to be smoothed out. Whoops. Don't color out of the lines. Yeah, it's a little bit of a not flat spot in there. Let me get a bigger brush. I like it when I color out of the lines. A little more room to work with there. All right, let's bring up. Hmm. Our silos. Yeah, I think I'm going to bring our silos in over on this side somewhere. We'll work this other area with the sheep across the street. So let's get rid of the dirt for now. That'll work. Oh, there's a railroad right there too. So there's going to be a pretty big station. Well, we'll see. Maybe we'll work the sheep and the, yeah, we'll figure that out when we get it there. Hey, Donna. How's Donna? All right. We've got BGA. We've got the barn. Let's see what we can do with the barn. I grabbed the straw barn. We've got tons of pieces. I'm thinking that's my problem. I'm always thinking. Rotate that to 90 degrees. Put our barn up here. We'll work out the details later if I decide to keep it here. We've got our silo system right over here, which comes in a few pieces. And a lot of moving back and forth across a huge map to get all these pieces in place, but it works. Spin that 90 degrees. We're going to be coming down this road directly into our silo area. So make it easy to move stuff around. We'll put that one right about, actually, I'm going to move it down. We got to get the, yeah, we'll leave it right about there. And this, we're good to go. Thanksgiving week. My plans are, like I said, I'm going to go a couple hours here, take a break for about an hour, come back a little bit later. I'm trying to decide what side I want this on. Uh, 9, go another couple hours, and I'm going to do the same thing tomorrow. We're going to try to get as much broadcasting of this stuff in, and just Wednesday I'll be leaving to go to home to visit my family, my kids, and my mom and my dad, and all them other people, brothers, sisters, all 8 of them. So I think I'm coming back on Friday. I'm not sure we'll be back in time to do a Friday broadcast, but as long as we're gonna, if I can't make Friday, we'll. The plan is to try to get at least 3, 4 days a week in on here anyway. So I'm gonna do broadcasts as much as possible until I until the holidays, Christmas, yeah, until I leave. So we'll see how much of this map we can get done before we go. Grab my ground markers. There's a lot to go, as you can see. It's a barren landscape. But slowly and surely, it will eventually become pretty awesome. Bring that over. Actually, the computer's running pretty smooth right now. Earlier, I don't know what I was running in the background. Might have been doing a virus check or something. But just moving trigger box or any objects around on the map was a lot more time consuming than it is. I mean, I'd be sitting here waiting 2 minutes for that thing to pop up there. It was getting annoying. Grab this piece here, which is our fill up zone, the whole thing, Evans Reserve House. Yeah, this take a little while, but all right. You can see a lot of extra triggers for the train lines. They're going to be moved later. Right now, it's getting everything into place. I wanted to put the reserve house right back here. Now, where is it? That's the question. It needs to be rotated 90 degrees and drag it into place. Make sure we have enough room to get through down there. We're just a hair above the ground. Let's go to 749. Yeah, that works. And we've got our railroad triggers, but this was the trigger box that goes onto the silo over here. And we had our silo triggers. The first one should be right over here. But finding it when it's invisible, not exactly the easiest thing. There it is. Now these are a little bit tricky, but sometimes they're a little off, need a little adjustment later. But I'll show you how I line them up. Basically, I bring it all the way up to the top of the pipe so that the square itself is around the pipe. If it's around the pipe, like so, and it's relatively centered, take a look at it from both angles, like that, and then you're good to drop it down until it touches the ground just right there. And usually that node is right at the tip of the pipe, and that should be pretty good to load up, load up there. I'm gonna just grab this and slide it off a little bit out of the way for now until I figure out where it's gonna go later. Hey Dave, how hard work would it be to move your buildable factories? Uh, Depends on the factory. Most of them now, it isn't too hard. And we're going to be doing it with every one of them. So basically, to give you, I don't know exactly where factories are going, but an example would be I highlight a piece of this factory. Take and go and highlight it here. We want to grab the whole transform group that all the pieces are in. And because it's a the buildable factories now, I don't know if this one was buildable, but I could tell if I went down a couple transform groups. Everything should be in one transform group like that for the factory. And it is. So you highlight the whole thing, figure out where you want to put it. I'm going to have to make sure they're all on the rail lines. So there'll definitely be a factory over here somewhere, for instance, and just left control B, click, uh, and I'm not sure this factory is going to stay there, but giving you a demo, rotate it so it's along the rail line, and we'll have to smooth out the ground and stuff, level it where it's going to go. But it's pretty easy. That one I don't know if it was buildable. Let's see if I can find one that I know was buildable. Uh, Down here. The shell is not, but that isn't either. These are. This definitely. Now this would be one of the more complex ones because there's so many pieces, but they should all be again in one transform group, Frito Factory. Highlight the whole group. We'll pull it up out of the ground anyway. And you will have to, yeah, I think that's everything for Frito. And then, but you notice how far away the center transform, there's actually a piece of something. You will find, why is there a silo trigger way over here for the Frito factory? I have no idea. Uh, Interesting, but we'll figure that out. So it's just dragging it into place when this whole all done. It's the only thing with the factories, like I said, a lot of them are built with the transform group center point way far away. So finding the place, just moving the arrows to where you find it can be a little bit more difficult if it isn't like that first factory where the center of the transform group was right there. When it's further away like this, you're working with arrows and stuff far in the distance. And rotation is very interesting because you can see we'll rotate that and bring it back up. Whoa. So I just kind of tend to rotate until I can line it up with the railroads or whatever I'm lining it up to. And you can still see how far off as we position it. So it's just a matter of working it till you have it exactly how you want it into its new home. But all the triggers should be with it. You could see them. There's a couple that they're buried under. Yeah, but it's all there. So yeah, moving the factories around. I don't know where they're gonna go yet. We'll work that out. But it's just a matter of grabbing the main transform group and putting it into place. Yeah, it's much easier. And you can actually export that if you're using the same script set and bring it right into yours. Let's see, where were we? We were up working on our farm, which the rest, as more and more pieces disappear. Where was it? Anybody remember? Over this way a little bit. There we go. All right, so we've got the two barns that got to come in with this as well. These other places to park. I think we will grab the garage. Yes, old man farmer, this is a new 16x map in the beginning stages. It's going to be quite a while before it's done, and it yeah, it's got a long way to go. There's no doubt about that. So, early stages of a 16x map. I'm going to just bring this over here for now. I'm not sure exactly where it's going to go. You're looking at sometime next. Whoops, didn't want to spin it all the way around. I want it minus 90. Doors facing this way. I think we'll be okay with it right about here for now. Because there is so much land out there. But yeah, 16x maps aren't built in a day. Heck, they're not built in a month. But the good news is, like I said, I've got a lot of the pieces in here that we need to use. There will be more that I'll have to bring in, and there will be lots that I got to get rid of. And will be a lot of landscape sculpting. There's until I have it completely painted and everything you see that's dirt hasn't been touched, really. A little bit, but not most of it hasn't. So we've got a long way to go. We got to spin these around. Line up our doors. Yes, I know the hinges are wood here, but I wanted to change the barn texture a little bit, uh, just to make them look a little different. And if I didn't mention it, you guys might not have noticed it, so I'm not worried about it. This wood hinge. It's a minor detail that I am not editing. It looked fine when the doors were all metal. I mean, when the building was, yeah, using the other texture, but it'll work. Yeah, I don't know why those triggers. There is either just invisible mistake or they were there for a reason, but I have no idea. One more farm garage. Yeah, we'll rotate that around as well. Like I said before, as more and more stuff comes down here, we will figure out if these stay here or not. But for now, I want to leave enough room to drive something big down between them because there'll be fields around this farm eventually. And there'll be sheep up there somewhere. Did you see the map in beta with Bible everything not buildable but buyable? I have not, Door. Have not seen it. I literally, the past few weeks, have not been around, but everything here is buyable and buildable. So, most things anyway. Or both. They're either one or the other or both. Put my hinges on top of where they belong. Yeah, I'm looking. Sometimes you gotta look at things from different angles too with this 3D perspective stuff, but that looks pretty good for now. All right. What else do we got over here? We've got this here has just been kind of, whoops, ground level, annoying me a little bit. There, get that out of there. The BGA workings for this whole farm are going to be a few different pieces. So let's grab those and figure out where we're going to go. Farm cow silo 1. I think we're going to put this right across the street up against train tracks. We'll bring it up and see what we can do. So I'm thinking putting the BGA right across from the main farm off of one of these roads. Let's see. Let's see how well it fits over here. Keep it down toward one end, and then we'll do the sheep stuff down toward the other end. Maybe I'll bring it over to this side, across from the barn. So we'll make a nice big BGA area over here. Got to get a whole bunch of BGA stuff in down here. Let's get the other one over there. Where was I? I think I passed it. Yes, I did. Yeah, the broken down truck is back home. Thanks for asking, JD. Uh, we ended up. It was there for a good week. It had parked in a school. My sister ended up upgrading her AAA so that they would tow it all the way here, the 3 hours for $60. That was took a little bit, but it's back and in her driveway. I don't think it's fixed yet, but at least we got it with all the stuff in the back. Oh yeah, we're over here. No, this is not V4 of the map. This is a whole new Pleasant Valley 16X, probably Pleasant Valley Town and Country, or Pleasant Valley Villages, or Pleasant Valley Counties, or something to that effect. But it's something. We'll figure the name out when we get to it. I'm gonna leave you plenty of room to drive stuff between them. We've learned that lesson. So you get your overloaders down through there. Concrete mixer got back upright. Hey, never back down, 81. How's it going? I am going to. I have no idea how. Where's the little? You guys see me all right and everything out there? I mean, why is my page say I'm not streaming? It says I'm offline. Am I? I have no idea. We'll re. Yeah, now it says I'm live. Okay. I just refreshed my browser, so bear with me as I get my control back in the game here. Okay. Anybody just arrived? We started off the show with letting you know that earlier today we released Pleasant Valley V3 with the new. Oh, I just can't believe I just did that. I clicked on the wrong button. With the new sugarcane update, and if you don't follow the steps that I did on Friday night or when I started this show today as well, I also outlined how you have to just open up your Unifactory saves XML in every instance where it says sugarcane. You want to capitalize the C in sugarcane or you'll lose the sugarcane in the factories and your silos. Other than that, the file is released in the normal download spot under the updates section, and along with Big Daddy's Sugarcane Plus mod, if you don't have the Sugarcane update pack for the Platinum Edition that Giants released, you will still be able to use it with his Plus pack. So those files were released. Anybody has any issues? We didn't do a lot of testing, but as far as I know, if you were here Friday, we were discussing uh, an issue we had on our server. I don't want to throw Dan under the bus, but I'm gonna. No. Um, we basically run two save games on our server. One is a testing game that has a whole bunch of product in it everywhere so we can test stuff. And then there's our regular game that we're playing that doesn't have it only has right now a couple of the factories built and stuff. So when we were trying to figure out what was wrong on the server, basically, uh, Dan was saying a lot of the stuff was missing, but thought he thought I loaded the testing game where everything was there, where but I actually loaded our standard game where everything wasn't. So there really was no issue other than the fact that he thought we were playing a different game. There was still a GPS error that was thrown, but I cannot figure out for the life of me what that was. And it hasn't happened since. So hopefully, if anybody has any issues with getting a GPS error, I don't know if it's map related or if it's update, but after fixing, it didn't seem to be any problem. Waiting on the new map, you're going to be waiting a long time if you're waiting for this one, Joker. It's going to be a long time coming, but it's getting there. Farm 1 biogas moving into place. And there will be some changes, as I said before, on the way fuel is made and stuff, but we'll make those changes after I get everything where I want it to go. So that is coming up here as well somewhere. This is one of those ones that I gotta drag it with the arrows. And what stinks is when you drag it into place and you realize you got to spin it 180 degrees because you don't like where it is. Like this one here, because then you got to drag it all over again. I'm going to definitely, I want to put it on this end, I think. It'll be easier to drive into. So rotate it another 90. Where is it now? Oh, wrong 90. That would be messed up. Yeah, somewhere back here. That way it'll be easy to fill coming out of the... Whoa, what did I do? I think I just undo. I think I stretched it. Grabbing these arrows, getting a good view, and grabbing them isn't always the easiest thing. And I think we have to level some ground. Oh, we're definitely not level. Uh, Train station back there. That works. But we gotta keep the... Whoops. Let's do it the other way. That works. Big BGA up here. We're gonna connect it right over to the railroad. Pretty close. See, there's a ridge there. Do you see where my thing dips? Will kind of keep some space in between it. Of course, all subject to change once I get in there and look around and see how things are looking, but it's just the basic start of where things are going to go. And we may move it. You might as well connect us right together there. So there's a dip. Thing is, the railroad side here has to be level, so we'll grab the height from the railroad side and let's extend it out. Make sure we get leveled around through here. Well, I'd rather have a little bit of a edge leading up into... Ooh, look at that, how far off that is out there. A little bit of a roll. We'll work that out. Watch this. Adds detail. So we can lower it down just a little bit more, and we'll take and... Whoops. Smooth the ridge here down to barely noticeable. And I may move the bunkers a little bit more later, but let me... 23.5, a little too far. 4. We're just touching the ground there. That's good. Everything's... This one here is a little bit high now? Is it because I didn't level out enough right up here? That is so weird. The back, I guess the whole thing has to come down a little bit, but it almost looks like it's at an angle. Grab the whole piece here. See, if I move it around too much, I got to move the planes and everything else, and that's a pain in the butt. But I'm just trying to figure out why it's crooked in the back. It's that'll work. We've got to get this back in it though. Take a look at our plane. Make sure it's centered up pretty good. Looks good there. All right. Off to this side, we're going to do the sheep farm eventually. Let's see what else we got over here. What are Dave's thoughts on the platinum? Dave's thoughts on the platinum is I wish I could afford it. Then I'd let you know. But no, I don't have it yet. I'll be getting it soon. Um, I really can't wait to give it a try. You cannot get the links by exclamation point map. I didn't set that up there, Gordon Leon. But if you scroll down to where it says downloads, that I have to change, I misspelled downloads, and click there, it'll bring you to the download section to get the latest update and everything you need. So we did do the sugarcane update again, once again, with the new sugarcane in the map. I'm just going to bring this over here. Kind of put it in place. We're going to have to move the fuel tanks around and everything. But also one of the things to note is not working with fence yet or any of the decorative objects on the farm. Really, it's just the basic stuff right now. Getting the workings back into place. And they still may be moved around a little bit as well. So like that fuel tank isn't going to stay there, but I don't know where I'm going to put it yet, so we're going to leave it there. All right, I might do yeah, let's see. We've got this whole front yard area, but I don't know. I think I might do something different in there because I think I'm going to put the whole sheep area right across the street and do a pretty good sheep area. Let's get some grass. Da 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 da. Well, I gotta scroll down further. 17 months, X-Man 1971. Thank you so much, X-Man, for your continued generosity. You're awesome, as most of you out there are. There are a few of you that aren't, but you know who you are. No, that's awesome, X-Man. Thank you so much. We're going to put some sheep down through here along the side of the BGA, but we also got to bring in the sheep silos and all the stuff. So we're just going to kind of figure out what it looks like. Uh, yeah, we'll fix that later. There's a whole ridge down through here too. I could tell. Yeah, there's going to be some room around these places. We got orchards that are coming in and greenhouses for each of the farms in different sections, yes, but just keep in mind that each of the farms is going to have, whoops, I didn't mean to do that, but I don't think it matters. Each of these farms is going to have their own greenhouses and, I mean, yeah, for different fruits and stuff. The goal is to make it so at least the farms have specific things, but everybody gets to participate. So you might be up here and, for instance, be doing cabbage and apple trees, uh, whereas somebody else might be doing pears and strawberries, and you'll have to communicate with each other if you're playing a multiplayer game, but you'll have the workings. However, the person over at the forestry, near the forestry, well, there'll probably be two forestry areas because that's a big job and we need some trees on the map. Um, they'll be doing the pallet making to bring. The goal is to have a combined effort. Now, of course, if you're playing single player, you'll find ways around it. Now, if you notice, I always have to go over here. I don't have a middle mouse button because I'm using trackball. It's just easier for me to move around the map. So yeah, I'm always using the menu. So I've been asked that once in the past. I'm just stretching out this a little bit. Funny thing with me is, and you'll find this out, that a lot of you already know it because you watch me make many maps. I get kind of tired of working on the same thing. So I'm just about ready to move to another section and work on that a little bit. Uh, we want to get my concrete back here for a minute and bring it right up here. Not the prettiest thing, but we'll do something with my intersections when the time comes to make them look a little better. Maybe figure it out. We'll leave some grass down the road side. We can plant some trees or bushes in down through here to add some detail to the farm. Short attention span. You know, there's only so much you can do on one area without driving yourself crazy. And I'm already halfway there, so I don't have a very far drive to go. I just like painting the ground. That way I know I've been there. Been there, done that area a little bit, you know? It's all going to be grass through here. There's big hills and stuff. We'll have to work that out. We got to figure out where fields are going to go around this crazy farm, too. So we'll work that out as well. Just going to keep bringing my grass out. I've got ridges to mow down there. You can see the ridge right through there. So we'll get my Smooth brush back on and take that away. Just make sure I stay away from my roads and stuff enough that I don't mess with them. All right, I'll work that out. I don't know exactly how I want that to be yet. Where the train station's gonna come in and start. It's like the farm has its own little train depot there. Pretty nice. All right, we've got a pretty good start. Now, it drives me nuts that when I back out, I can't see the work I just did. I'm going to save this really quickly, bring it back up. If you want the Giants code for platinum that I won on the raffle, I will donate it back to you. It's just easier for me to get it on Steam because it keeps all my computers up to date. Hairball 65. That would be so awesome. I do have the code that I gave you if you didn't use it, but somebody did. Uh, the other winner that was going to trade it in ended up. I guess you can use the Giants download on Steam if you just copy the files over. But that would be a huge help, especially now. All right, Barry 1949, you have a good evening as well. Glad you could stop in. I'll be back again later on tonight and tomorrow. We'll see. We're going to try to get as much broadcasting in 2 hour chunks. So I'll go in probably another, well, roughly about another half hour here. We'll upload this video while I go take a break and get some dinner. And actually, I saved it, so I want to. Did I save it? I'm going to save it again. I shouldn't have moved around. Yeah, then I'll come back again tonight in another hour break. We'll be doing another 2 hours of this crazy stuff. But I'm going to, right now, save it, load it, save it, get my textures back to where they are, jump in the map. We'll drive over to the farms that I've been working on and see how things are looking. Then we can come back later on and do another. Yeah, Dave does get bored. Actually, this isn't so bad. I just like to get in the map and visualize what I'm doing before I go too far and realize I don't like it. So, and that's how I get my ideas. So I need to figure out where other things are going to go in relation to this farm. We're going to exit out here for a minute and then load it back up so I can get my distance textures redrawn. Sometimes I do this. Sometimes I work on, like, I still have to do the sugarcane fix for this map too. That's kind of boring stuff, but it's when I want a change of pace, I will do that. Then get out of this editor and go into fixing my sugarcane or adding crops or messing with the grass texture to see if I can find another one. And they're all different processes. Right now, I just feel like painting and drawing. Now, it's important to figure out where things are going to go. Load it back up. Tick tock, tick tock. It takes a while. 16x maps in the editor don't exactly load. And then after you load it, which is almost done, I see it trying. The stuff will appear in the scene graph. And you notice I have I got to run the 16x script again so I get my land back. Thank you so much, Hairball. I can grab that code up and check that out. Maybe we'll do that later on. We can, yeah, if I get bored of this. All right, so now you can see my distance textures for that farm are all drawn in when I'm away. So I could see the area we've been working in, which is a big help. So I'm going to save it, and then we're going to jump in game and drive around a little bit to the areas I've been working on and kind of get an idea of what's going on and an idea of what else is going to be happening. Of course, I need to get that vehicle teleport mod again. Make it a little bit quicker to get around this 16x. I haven't used it in a long time, but man, I get lost in here still. All right, we're saved. We're gonna jump into make sure we have my. Is it down there? Did I not have it running? The XXL map selected. And we'll just use save game 3 here. Load it up and see what we got. Oh, the fun part of getting bored quickly, though, is going to be uh, actually planting the grass around everything, the actual grass, not just the under texture. Yeah, on a 16x map, that is something I at least look forward to. But it has to be done eventually. 16 times the size. This was the original first farm we did up here in the corner. We don't have to visit that one. You've got 3 BGA bunkers on this. I may add a couple more on the other ones as well, but this one has 3. And yeah, it's just one big slab. We'll be decorating these up and moving stuff around, but you've got the cow farm. So you've got the feed silo separate from there. I got your cow barn back in here, your feed mixer back there. But you can kind of get an idea of the expanse on how much room just the farm's areas are taking up. I wanted a large place for the cows to roam, so it's going to be a pretty large navigation mesh right here with the cows out here. We'll put some trees and some terrain changes in the cow areas as well. But it's a pretty big area. Let me get a truck. The fastest I should have. Oh, do we have the crazy, what is it called, installed? I can't remember. That thing that Big Daddy made there, that grass thing. That thing gets around. Is that under the miscellaneous category? I think it was. Let's check that out. Uh, miscellaneous. Oh yeah, the grasshopper. That will move us around faster. Although I'll probably end up. And if I roll it over, it has that feature. Yeah, baby. The map view itself is not even touched yet there, uh, because the map is so much in development. So, yeah, if you want to see, that's it. It's the old map. Uh, That's one of the, once I get the landscape done, then we'll make it over. So that is not going to be of any help right now. Whoa, we're rolling. Don't end up upside down. Okay, we're back on the way. No, that map is not tiny. That is when I bring this up. Uh, what you see in the center is the old 4X map from Pleasant Valley, the graphic for it. That means everything that's green around that is the additional size that's added to the map. So we have definitely a long way to go, but it's definitely not a tiny map. A lot of additional stuff coming in. It's a little bit better going 110 miles an hour. Yeah, it looks tiny on the 16X. Yeah, the old map definitely. Oh, can I? That's the edge of the world. Oh, come on. I got the borders. Hey, you know what I have? Do you guys remember how to do this? Uh, let's see. It's scroll lock, right? Scroll lock or shift lock. Where is that button? I never used that button. There we go. Oh, wait. We can't go up and over. Can we go forward? I can't go forward. Oh, well. The thought counted. I gotta remove that border that's in between the two roads. We gotta go back. Yeah, it's gonna be huge, is right. I gotta find a way to cross over to the other side. Those, I want to check out the farm down there first. Ah, yes. We'll do the same thing we did last time. We'll. Ooh, that was fun. You could stop dancing now. All right. Do we? What side? I can't even remember. I don't even know what direction. We're heading south, and we wanted to get over this bridge to the other side. I think this way. Come on, you can do it. Don't try this at home. There's a farm over here somewhere. Yeah, this thing isn't exactly the most stable thing. Somewhere down in here. Oh, I think it's over here toward the corner. Oh, I think I didn't. Oh man, did I go on the wrong side? Yep, I gotta get to that other corner. We gotta cross the bridge over to the other side again. And remind me to remove that when we go back in the editor later on, so I don't have to keep trying to find a way around those borders in between the roads. Drive me insane. Especially on a 16X map, we don't need to have extra travel. 04 Paul, how you doing? We don't need to have extra travel. Oh yeah, we got to go way this way. I could see the mountain that I built up there in the distance, and the farm is south of that. So, whoa, we just drowned ourselves. Oh, oh, I think we could save it. We might be able to get out of this, folks. We could have tried jump the Grand Canyon. Why is it spinning so terribly? Like it's bogged down. Check that out. Does this vehicle just not drown? It's moving still. Can we climb that wall when we get to it? I don't know. I want to go over there. Come on. You can do it. We're almost there. Gravel on the train tracks gives you a migraine, and I've repainted everything more than once in my head because of restarts. Yeah, not fun. Almost there. We're working our way to the edge of the water here to see if we can get out. Move keypad 2, 8, 4, and 6. Oh, 6. Hey, look at that. I got out. All right, can we get over? Yeah, we made it. Woohoo. You know me, always messing around in the water and stuff. Yeah. All right. Somewhere in this vast landscape where there will be fields, I mean, look at all this room still. There'll be mountains and fields and you name it. But this is the one farm that I haven't actually drove over to check out, and I need to see about the size of that mountain if it's going to be sufficient for what I intend it to be. It looks pretty cool. I wanted it to be as big as it could be, height wise. So that'll be interesting when we get over there. So yeah, we've got this farm coming in down here with lots of space around it. We'll start putting some fields in around. And it's got a road. We got to put the BGA down and back here on this one still. Looking pretty good. And we're going to have orchards at back here somewhere for this farm. So that's pretty cool. And this up here will be our mining mountain. The plan is to have roads that wind up it, not too terribly steep so that it doesn't drive you too crazy. That's why it's, but to have areas throughout for the different mining types. And the mountain is going to be tall. I got to do the roads and everything. It's really, woohoo, just a rough pile of stuff right now. But give you an idea, that's close to the ceiling up there for the size of a mountain. And as a 16x map, we can do that. We're going to be driving in mostly from over this side. That's why it's a little bit lower. Once we smooth things out and build roads up through, it'll be more of a gradual to the top from over here with little mining areas throughout. And then back in this corner, which I already have a little bit, we're going to dig into the side right over here. We're going to put one of those coal mines so the coal is inside, down inside like we did before on the previous map. So that's the plan for the mountain. Size wise, looks pretty darn awesome. Up over the top of this ridge, we'll probably make some extra roads and stuff through some of these mountains too, once we know where they have to be. Uh, because there really could probably be one. Um, just made it through this side here, so I don't have to go all the way around. Yeah, can I get over this rough piece of property? I think, come on, you can do it. Woo, we're almost there. Oh, there's water down there. Yeah, I guess I guess we can't cross there. I think we'll go get an here. Let's jump down into the water. See if we could hit the bridge down below. There we go. No problem. Controlled landing. You got to get over to the other side. Oh my gosh, I can't steer. We're going over this way. Nice ramp. Yeah, airtime. You know, vehicle shops where they're purchased is only a ability to have one of those on the map. Where you do the upgrades, you can buy them and place them anywhere you want. But unfortunately, you can't specify when you purchase. So there is a center, like city area that's central to the map that everybody will have to travel to, but it's going to be a haul to get things, equipment. It's a 16x map. Don't expect to have everything next door because you won't. All right, up here toward this corner somewhere, I see it. I think I see a farm appearing in the distance. It could be an old one, but I think it's a good one. So yeah, they're quite a ways apart. Yep, this is where the pigs are gonna go, back in here somewhere. Probably gonna put the pigs right over on this little corner here. Make a nice little pen, and then we'll have the pig feeder across the street from them, and some other storage areas and barns and stuff. The cars have to come out of the lot over here, but this is, yeah, a lot of cars. Oh, that's one of those invisible barriers that has to come out right down the middle of this farm. Let me see if I can find a way across here. We don't have to cross necessarily here because the next farm is way up in the other corner. There we go. Put our vehicles on the train if it can be done. Yeah, that's a possibility. I don't know what kind of lag that's going to cause, but we shall see. We are going to head over to that farm we were just working on and take a quick look at that. So much land out here still to work with. Whoa. Oh boy. Oh, not good. Oh, yeah. Which way were we heading? I can't remember. We want to go that way. That was a close one. Flying across the bridge. I think it's this way. We're heading east. The farm is definitely east. It's right up here. Yep. So it's kind of funny, but this one, we're looking down and at it. There's a little bit of landscape. We'll smooth out the landscape, but you can see it's going to take shape pretty good down here. Look at you looking down over the farm. A little bit of hills that need to be worked out, but we'll expand out from it and put fields in and see how they work. We've definitely got a ridge here that I have not finished smoothing out. That's why I take a look at this. See that big ridge right there? That has to come out. It needs to be smoothed back to the area. That's okay there. Got to remove all the parked cars too, and then we'll be able to cross our street to our. Some of them will come back. I do like the idea of having cars, not floating ones, but I'm just checking to make sure spacing and everything. I don't think we're gonna have any problem getting cedars and stuff in. There was a and using the silos. That's really the key. So it's gonna be pretty big. Look at all the cars parked along the side of the road. There must have been a town here. I am gonna go in before I forget. We gotta take this ridge right here down to flat, and we can definitely easily put a third bunker in over here eventually too. There's definitely going to be plenty of room. But before I forget, I want to take that ridge off, and I wanted to do so. Oh, I want to remove parked cars from this map. We'll add them back in at some other point, but right now they're just in weird places. So let me see. Ah, da, da, da. We need to find our splines. Da, 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 right here. And you will see that traffic splines, parked cars, all these right here. I'm going to leave one of them just so we can use it to duplicate later. But from parked car number 2, once it highlights it, all the way down to the last one, and you can see there are a lot of them. Highlight those and delete and get rid of all the parked cars. No, I did not change the seater because basically I didn't do any changes since you saw it last because I didn't need to and it was already uploaded. Uh, it stayed the same, but there are a few things that we'll still be working on with that map, and that in the next update when we do it, which I don't know when that's going to be, we will take care of it so that you won't have to refill seaters. I mean, unload them before you have to reload them. I know that's what he's talking about. Parked cars are out. That was first thing. So we don't have a bunch of them everywhere. And we're just going to, oh, you will see some traffic that turns around. You might want to turn your traffic off in that. That's what's going to be fixed. I want to finish the traffic system in that map eventually, but I got going in this one so much that the traffic is back, but it turns around in the middle of the road where it used to before we expanded the map over there. So a little weird. You can run with it if you don't mind vehicles doing U-turns in the middle of your roads in a couple spots. And yeah, we're going to end up working that out a little bit, but we'll figure that out when we get there. Looking pretty good. And eventually, all this stuff is going to not look as nearly as bad. I just haven't figured out where these hills are going to go. We're going to have to smooth out a lot of it because there's a farm back here now. But I'm just doing this so if I want to drive around, I don't get caught on the edges later. We do want rolls and some terrain level changes throughout the map. That makes it interesting. But we don't want to make it so that you have too steep a hills to travel with that big equipment, or it might just get annoying. Get my dirt spots out. They'll come back later where appropriate. So yeah, we're gonna work on expanding this, but I think when we come back later in another hour, I'm gonna take a break very soon. Come back for another 2 hour segment, and we're gonna start drawing some. Well, do we have any other pieces of that farm before we go over here? I think we got most everything. There's some fence. I think we'll start working on drawing some fields around the farms that we have to see how, starting with this one, to see where they're going to go. Then, if anything, we'll be working the sheep enclosure and the pig enclosures in as well tonight. So, but when we come back, we'll continue adding some fields around these just to kind of get the area of where these farms, oh, get it replaced, where these farms are going to go to. Adding some more grass because there's going to be a lot of fields. This is definitely, once I get the basic around the farm, it'll help quite a bit in deciding where I want to put other things. And because it's going to be run like towns, we've got to find locations along the railroad tracks for each of the factories specific to one of the four town areas that it belongs to. So that will be coming soon. Just get a little bit more of the grass filled in here because there are going to be some pretty massive fields on this map. That'll be a start, anyhow. We've got all this all the way up to that mountain. I mean, there's a ton of room. I might even make that mountain a little bit bigger. Maybe we'll work on that a little bit later as well. Got to get some mining done in that. So there's going to be a lot of different textures throughout the mountain and a lot of smoothing and a lot of roads built in, a road path coming through. So that's going to expand and it's kind of cool because it's right up. You'll be driving along this road and you'll see that mountain up there. Yeah, that'd be nice. A river on the other side. Looking good. Get some more grass. So field wise on this map, I think we're gonna probably have about as many as was on the 4X map. It's just that they're gonna be huge compared to that. Most of them. There'll be some small ones, but yeah, there're gonna be some big fields for big equipment and lots of harvesting. And in each segment, let's take a look. We're gonna have a area where there'll be factories along the railroads. So down here, we have the railroads coming through. We're going to drop in some factories along these railroads and then build our fields around them. I think I got to find out. We'll do that before we leave. One last thing. One last thing is the train stations. Um, I need to know which station and where all four trains converge. Uh, then let's see, where do I have the train splines in this map? I copied them in train system. Let's see where all four of them meet because that's where the main warehouse is going to have to be. Somebody said there was a spot. I could have sworn that there was only three that went into there. You're in the northeast city on Corn Belt. It's going, the railroads are already laid out, as you can see. I'm going to turn on the splines and we're going to take a look. So this one here comes through on this rail. I thought it was down here in the southwest, although we'll find out. We're going to turn them on. Train system 2. And we'll see where all four of them meet. But that's definitely where we want to have the main warehouse. Turn on the visibility of 2. All right, so 2 comes on the other side. I mean, we could easily add a nice station right in that loop there so far. To one, if this is where it should be. Let's see. We got 2 other ones though. See where they're going. But definitely need to determine that. That's a very important thing. Want all trains to be going through the main warehouse. Number 3 turned on. See, 3 does not come over here. So we need to find a place where you said the northeast corner on Corn Belt, up by this farm somewhere. Are all 3 of them? Or northeast city? I only see one down through there in the northeast. There's a city right over here. Area. I'm pretty sure I only saw 3 trains. Unless it's right here. We have the lower and these 2 right here. All 3 I think run through here. Let's see where train 4 is. Yeah, we've got 1, 2, 3 there. Track 4. Now, granted, this one's down the hill a little bit. And that one, is that one down there as well? Yep. So we've got this area right here where I originally planned has the tracks running through here. Now, that isn't exactly, but we can work it out so that we can build a station in here with these 4 rails. I'm pretty sure that's the only place, unless so you guys know of any other place where they all merge together. They split back up over here, so they're going in different directions. But in the northeast, we have 2 of them coming through that area. So yeah, I'm pretty sure where I had it planned is where it's going to end up going for the main area. Let's see what happens. I'm going to just make sure. I'm going to turn off one at a time back here. I can work with this. It's not exactly level between the 2 rails, but all of them come pretty close, so we can build something in here and then put the main warehouse right in here like I originally planned. So I'm going to turn them off one at a time and see what happens here. Yep, I see that one on that lower rail. That one's there. And There's three in the southwest. Yeah. I think I got all four right here. This is number two. Yep. All right. Turn that one off. There's three down there where I originally had planned, but I think I moved it to here because all four run on these rails, even though one's down here. I can work this out. And it's not exactly level, but we'll make this into a large train station, double level with everything coming in, if that's the case. So visibility on number three, right there. Yep. Actually, one of them goes through, it looks like possibly both directions, maybe not. And then four is down below. So this area is really the only area I think that all four trains are going to come through on these two rails. So I had it planned originally where I wanted. The only difference is I am going to need to do a lot of work in between these rails to make it a little bit smoother transition without messing up the train lines and put some buildings in. We'll maybe build a, I think I'll bring this down. Let's see. I got an idea. Da 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 da. Where am I? Wrong place. I want to replace right there. We'll bring back this. I'm going to build a concrete wall along the backside over here, right along here, so that we can, we'll cover up this ridge, but, and then we'll have a road that comes down through to the lower half of it. You just work with what you got. That's what you do. So we'll have one big station, dual level, and we'll take some of those concrete bricks and make a nice straight wall coming down through there somewhere. But give you an idea. Once we get the yep, and that will be our main station. We'll bring a road down through over here so this end can be smoothed down. And we'll drive across and into the lower area to access the lower train area. Maybe we'll do some lumber offloading on that trail or something too. And then the top side, where the main warehouse, you'll have roads coming in a couple different directions. Yeah, and a huge, and it is really, if you look at the map, quite toward the center, which is exactly what I wanted. So the vehicle shop will be up here too. Maybe we'll get it on the railway just down a little ways, uh, somewhere around here, so that when you purchase vehicles, it'll all work out. Maybe down here somewhere. Yeah. All right. Future plans, but definitely gonna stick with the main station and the main warehousing right there. All right. I'm gonna save this up, guys, and we'll be back in right around, well, now it's like 50 minutes, another hour. I'm just gonna grab some dinner and save this so it's not too long of a clip for uploading to the YouTube viewers, and then we'll get back here right around 8 o'clock with another couple hours of broadcasting. So come on back if you have the time, If not, we'll catch you later, but we'll see you in about an hour.